Section 2.5 of your portfolio, and that is the prototyping, modeling, and testing section. So this is an important section that can be a little bit confusing in multimedia. It makes much more sense in woodwork, where you think about actually prototyping and building models of whatever you're going to be making, or doing tester pieces with a cheaper piece of wood. But for us, prototyping, modeling, and testing is doing tutorials that will eventually influence the way that you make your project. So for this student, they want to use a glitch effect on text, so they're using After Effects, and it's very important with multimedia from here on in that we screenshot everything. Screenshot every couple of minutes, screenshot even if you think it might not be anything interesting, and put it in a folder, okay? Screenshots, save them straight into a folder, and then later when you're going through your portfolio, you can pick and choose here, okay? So this one here, you can see the little steps and it's annotated, and it doesn't go into like step by step detail, but it gives the main features. So each one of these says what's actually happened in the tutorial here. This is a really good example of a prototype, and then you follow it, and it's almost as if you could do this yourself. It's almost like a recipe. That's what you really want to have in terms of the amount of quality. This one here is to do simple bone rigging in a program called Moho that I think the student hasn't actually ended up using, but they might. And it shows how you did it. And then we've got our final bone rigging movement. So we've got using, I think using her own character in this. The bones were falling out of place, and she couldn't actually do it. So it's okay to say that the tutorial was too hard for you to do, but you weren't able to do it. This one here, you've got a frame-by-frame tutorial with onion skinning and things of that nature. You've got how to do a still background with animation on the front of it. And yeah, so we've got the testing with your own things in here, and the success and the evaluation overall. This is an amazing prototyping section. When I'm looking at this one here, we've got prototypes using, well, me as an actor that has water poured on my head for a final scene later, where milk would be falling on a student and their mother. We've got some powerized prototypes where you can see the student experimenting out with different effects. You've got like a sort of a throw someone in the air with a force effect here as well. So they were experimenting with the different effects that would later become part of their work. Here you can see some tutorials of just how to draw in Illustrator and After Effects. So these were things that were very relevant to this student. In terms of the tutorials, we'll skip through these sketches. Prototyping, modeling. So this student had never used Photoshop before this project. They've never used After Effects. So a lot of their prototyping was just understanding how to use the Adobe suite. This student's prototypes are things like using a lightsaber, using masking effects. So you can see they've just done it there. And that continues on there. We've got green screen effects, how to use a green screen, how to create space backgrounds, how to make a character disintegrate into dust particles. But I think really you want to be looking at this sort of one. It needs to show that program use. So you need to be screenshotting and putting that stuff in with your evaluations to get the best marks.